Delegation is Mr. James Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham, you have up to 10 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here this evening not only as a licensed busker, but also as elected president of the new Beat of the Street Society here in Nanaimo. I would like to start by asking Council to instruct city lawyers to remove a court injunction which has my name on it, dated September the 22nd, 2003. The court file number is S38731. Justice Landers granted this court injunction to the city immediately after we were given $300 in fines for allegedly violating the street entertainers bylaw. My family of buskers were not violating the street entertainers bylaw on July the 11th, 2003. We were protesting a bylaw which we had every right to do under federal law, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. My family of buskers were also given these tickets for alleged violations of the bylaw on Port Authority property. And according to a letter I have dated May the 9th, 2003, and signed by city lawyer Michael Wasserman, the city of Nanaimo does not have jurisdiction to give bylaw tickets on Port Authority property. I was given 14 days to file a statement of defense by Justice Lander on September the 22nd, 2003. And that statement of defense was filed in the Supreme Court of British Columbia on October the 1st, 2003, 9 days later, and has been there ever since. The city lawyer who asked for the injunction on behalf of the city of Nanaimo, Guy McDonald, emailed me on June 24, 2004, indicating the city of Nanaimo has decided not to pursue the matter any further after spending $10,000 of taxpayers' money to get the injunction. This is unacceptable. I started a blog on the issue on the Nanaimo Information Form, which tells the history of our busking days in Nanaimo in detail and has reached over 30,000 views since late June of 2008. This is equivalent to more than 1/3 of the total population of Nanaimo. Mayor and Council, do you believe this busking bylaw is acceptable and working? We don't. Do you think it's in the best interest of the public to regulate busking? Not according to over 30,000 people who have an interest in busking in Nanaimo. I would now like to touch on a few issues about how this bylaw has severely affected my family of buskers financially, mentally, and physically. First of all, before this bylaw was adopted, we had amplification and were performing as a family group. We would pack the waterfront with hundreds of people every night. After the adoption of this bylaw, our donations dropped by 90%. And other buskers with electric guitars and keyboards were allowed to continue to be amplified while our amplification was taken away from us. This is discrimination. On the evening the busking bylaw was adopted in 2003, 3 city councillors sitting in front of me tonight voted to have this bylaw put in place. Shame on you. How would you feel if the city of Nanaimo decided to reduce your wages by 90% over the next 6 years? That's what happened to us. My youngest son, who was 8 years old at the time, was fearing for his life and asking me if the police were going to come and put him in jail for singing. This is unacceptable and is child abuse by law enforcement officers. The same boy is almost 15 years old now and still has a problem with going busking due to the busking bylaw, which brought the police and bylaw officers to our location regularly and still does. 2 of my other sons were also buskers, and one of them stopped busking because of the harassment by the law. He is now 20 years old. The other son does busk on occasion, but prefers to stay clear of the busking police. He is now 25 years old. I can assure you that because of this bylaw, our family has lost thousands of dollars because of the over-regulation, and we have been labeled by the media as ones causing the problem. An example of one article in the Bulletin newspaper states, if the sound of amplified accordions bothers your walk at Swilana Lagoon, help is on the way. This is not acceptable. I can add much more to my list of how this bylaw has affected my family of buskers, but I encourage all of you to look for yourself. Just Google busking in Nanaimo and start to read. Finally, I ask that Council consider completely moving the street entertainers bylaw and allow buskers to be free minstrels as they have been for hundreds of years, and follow the City of Calgary's lead to eliminate busking licenses and a busking bylaw. I said back when this bylaw was adopted in 2003 that it created a court challenge, could create a court challenge by buskers. Tonight I will make it very clear, we will challenge the city busking bylaw in court, and we have already started the process. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's meeting, no matter what council decides to do, we are very well represented by a high-profile lawyer, and will continue through the court system to have this bylaw removed, as well as the injunction. It's too late to fix things now. The damage has already been done. Thank you.
Councillor Patchy.
Thank you, Worship. Thank you, Mr. Cunningham, for your presentation. I just have one simple question. Will you be willing to cooperate and to work with the one instrument that the city has decided to give us all, which is the Safe Nanaimo Committee, to try and come to a solution, not only for the things that you call unjust, and you have some points there, but also with regards to get us to talk about the injunction and to see what can be done about it. I'm just asking for your cooperation.
Okay, Mr. Pache, before I met with the lawyer in Victoria, I was prepared to work with Randy Churchill on the issue at Bylaw Services, and we were working quite well together, just even having meetings on a regular basis. But if Mr. Churchill had told me at that time that the Safer Nanaimo group was going to be dealing with the busking issues, I would have walked out of his office. I'm not prepared to work with them.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay, Councillor Johnstone.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. I listen with interest, and I'm one of the ones that has to get up to speed, and will welcome the opportunity to read some of the information. But one question I have for you. My family has enjoyed your music on many occasions when we go on the waterfront.
Thank you.
And there are other minstrels that are very, very talented and make the ambience of the whole harborfront walkway very enjoyable. But do you agree that buskers should be adjudicated?
I have kind of mixed feelings about that, you know, because when you start regulating busking, like they did here in Nanaimo in 2003, to the extremes that they are now, then I say get rid of all of it. Buskers can regulate themselves. There are bylaws in place, Councillor Johnstone, to deal with issues that may arise from buskers, such as a noise bylaw, such as a nuisance bylaw. They don't need a buskers bylaw. They don't have one in Calgary.
But will you agree that there are some people that think they have a wonderful tone for music, go out and sing, and are painful to the ears on some occasions?
That's quite possible, but there's also, 35 parks in Nanaimo you can go walk?
Yeah.
You know, if you have buskers in all of those parks, then it does make a difference. But if you've only got them at Nanaimo's waterfront, then the people that are looking for peace and quiet should go to the other parks, because they know that this one down here is not quiet.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you.
Okay, moving